Oh, there's no... Oh, there is. Okay, I was like, oh no, I'm not getting any sound into OBS. Yeah, we're finally back streaming because I finally got OBS fixed, was what I was going to say, and then it looked like OBS was not fixed. And, that was worrisome. But no, it seems to be working. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, it's gonna be our first stream, my first stream, in quite a few weeks, trying to get everything fixed, and I thought, alright, everything's finally fixed, everything will be great, and then, like, I bumped my mic arm, and the arm fell off of the stand. I was like, oh, of course, because there's always something. Yeah, we're trying to get that last trophy, get our new game plus ultra hard, or I guess just ultra hard. It doesn't have to be necessarily new game plus. Get our ultra hard trophy in this game. I have no idea where we left off. It has been so long. So we're gonna, man, I haven't played Zero Dawn whenever I last streamed it, but I've played Forbidden West. So that was quite a bit of a wait there. Quite a bit of a wait trying to wait for... Oh, 60 FPS. Woo, that's nice. Yeah. Alright, so we're here in Meridian, obviously. Get that nice view all the way out there. Can we see the... Yeah, we can see the Thunderjaw all the way from here. That's awesome. Because you'd be able to see, and like if this were real life and these were like real life distances, like I know that's supposed to be like 100 miles in that direction, but like in real life distances, whatever, like a couple kilometers that way, whatever it is really, you'd be able to see the There's like, which direction is the tall neck in? There's a tall neck in this direction somewhere. Is it? It must be, okay, it's up a little bit. Don't see a tall neck anywhere. Let me know if the volume's not right, since I have completely redone OBS. Basically uninstalled, reinstalled pretty much anything even tangentially related to anything with my streaming setup, and seems to be fixed. Fingers crossed. But getting rid of every setting has been a little bit difficult to fix, to reintroduce. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but oh, that's not pulse. Is that a no? Not a thing I can. Trying to see if we can see that. I don't know where exactly the tall neck would be. Thought we might get a different angle on him up here. Anyway, it's not important. I'm just wasting time on dumb stuff while I talk, I suppose. But yeah, so if the volume's not right, if the stream's not right, it looks... OBS seems to be saying it's okay. But if it's not, let me know. And, yeah, what are we doing? What do we have to... We got another quest over here. We can turn in... I think we finished... Did we turn in Hunt for the Law? Oh, we got the inheritance thing. Okay. Got these down here. I feel like the last time... I think definitely for my my very hard playthrough. Maybe my hard playthrough. I don't even think I came down here. Kind of forgot it was there. I tried to do all the quests, but... Okay, so we got 2 quests, 3 quests all the way up here. Um, I guess we might as well go over to. We might as well go up to Olin because, like, we might as well. We might as well actually do something. I think we did like a whole bunch of side quests the last couple 2 streams or so or whatever. So we might as well. Okay, we completed all of those. So we might as well go to Olin, and then we'll go to the Hunter's Lodge, and we can meet Talanah and have some fun there. Cool. I guess we'll come this way too. Let's go, I suppose. This is gonna be interesting, getting used to playing this again. It takes a while for me to get used to it, and then I get used to it, and I go back to Forbidden West, and I try jumping and everything. And it's like, oh, that's right. Can't really do that. Let's, I feel like it's probably too warm out here to be wearing this, so let's find something. Oh yeah, so they've got the fan favorite in Forbidden West, so don't freak out. You can rock this one still, the Karja Blazon, and yeah, and you've got dyers in the new one. You know, I think these are kind of spoiler, but not real spoilers. But you got dyers in the new one, so you can dye them. I dyed my Karja Blazon in Forbidden West. I dyed it like this. It's like this tealy, green, blue, aqua thing. I don't know. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's wear this. I haven't worn this in a little bit. And this is sufficiently Karja. And is this kind of what Talanah wears? I forget what Talanah wears. I feel like this is kind of close enough so we can match her. I really hated the pulse when we first played Forbidden West. If you guys have played or seen any of it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But I super hated it at first because it was like, it was just like, oh, just hitting the button, it usually does this. You should have made it like a push and hold or something. I don't know. I was just unhappy. That's the kind of person I am. I just get upset at things. And, but you know if you've ever seen me play anything. And, I was like, oh man, I don't like this, I don't like this. Now I'm like, hey, why can't I put this? They should issue a patch. You can do it in Zero Dawn. Where's the path? Oh, it's up here. We got a campfire over here. We got a couple paths. We've got a merchant. Let's, we got the, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I did that off of a short cliff and into water. We do not have the, shield wing thing. I'm glad I remembered that now. No hovering. Alright, stream looks like it's doing alright. Let's see. Oh, my layout's different. That was close. Oh, I'm twitching now. I've forgotten how to do it. Oh, that's right. They don't have a headshot. Forbidden West is like seriously messing up my headshots. Nice headshot. So these guys are wearing masks, and they wear masks in the new one, but like they count as armor, and you gotta knock them off. I'm like, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. Alright, let's see. I don't know when the last time I sold anything was, so I don't know if I'll have anything to sell or not. Let's sell that guy. Oh man, we got lots of stuff. Ooh, we can sell some wire. I still got room, but I'm not used to having all these supplies. Ooh, look at all that blaze. And we'll sell another stack. We should pack up again pretty quick. Although I think one of the things about this game, you're supposed to, in the different difficulty modes, you're supposed to have or come across less and less items and supplies and stuff, so I don't know. Yeah, let's sell another one. I could probably sell all the metal burn. I don't really use it. And let's sell one of the echo shells. I got really... what was I doing? Oh, I had finished normal, or was at the end of normal, my first playthrough. And was just like burning through it. And I used echo shells on the echo... Oh, that's not the pulse. Use those echo arrows. What are they called? The tear blast arrows. You need all those echo shell things. And yeah, I just knocked everything off and half killed it, and then shot it with regular arrows. And then I actually shot it with regular arrows. And what I did is ended up using pretty much everything when I went to play. I think it's hard. I guess it goes normal, hard, very hard, ultra hard. How do I get in this place? And I got like a billion thoughts going on right now. Oh, geez, look at that guy. Corrupted. Let's see, can I use fire?
Fight or run.
Spotted!
Nope. Ah, missed him. Wow, I actually hit him, but I missed his head. Got his head. Man, my aim sucks. Ugh. This is so embarrassing. I used to pride myself on such skill, and you can't get a freaking headshot. Stop shooting me. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. That's more like it. So whatever embarrassing nonsense that was. Ugh.
Now they're hunting me.
Yeah, let him hunt me. Honey Badger don't care. Alright, well I have no idea what I was saying. Oop. Oop, found a campfire somewhere. Oh, they're fighting. Okay, let's... I don't know why they're fighting. But I don't want to be there. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Oh, I need to pull my monitor over. Ugh, that's not the button that I wanted it to be. Okay, before we go in with mess with all that, let's, oh, I forgot I've got the... Okay, let's change our... let's change our face paint. Which face paint do we want? Oh, that looks good. I like the Seeker. Scout looks pretty good with that headset as well. Ah, the Karja. Very classic. Actually, I think we're going to go with Scout. Don't use that one too often, and that looks really good with... with this headset. Okay. Ah. Okay, before we go in, start messing with this, I need to fix my monitor so I can actually read the chat. Okay. That's better. Alright, let's trigger this cutscene. Oh wow, these graphics.
This is what you intend. To bring these ancient things back to life.
Their power serves us.
Machine demons from beneath the ground. It's a nightmare.
Nightmares. Yes, the worst dreams of our enemies come true. Yes, rise.
Why do those masks have 6 eyes? I like those masks a lot. Better than I like the ones in the new.
So much for catching him alone.
These things will destroy us all!
They will only destroy our enemies and bring us back the lands that were taken. Ah!
My focus. You stop working.
Search the area. We may have intruders.
Oh, that's right.
Forgive this intrusion, Aloy. You left me no choice.
Who is this?
An interested party. Now their focuses are disabled, but I don't know for how long. The rest is up to you.
Who is this?
Alright, I forgot this is where he first showed up. Come on, tag him. There we go. I've only managed to do this efficiently one time. And I don't remember what I did. It was like more of an accident than anything. I like managed to actually take out the sentries all along the rim. And not alert anybody underneath. These guys, okay, weak to fire. sure he's gonna see me. Oh, can you imagine sliding across these rocks like that? Ugh. I don't know how well these guys are gonna be able to see me. They can see like extra good now because of our difficulty level. Oh, I just can't quite. Better stay to this side for when he does pop back into view. Gotcha. Don't mind me.
Yeah, this is useful.
I'm one of you guys. Totally one of you guys. All hail machine gods. Yay, cultism. Oh, whoo, he moved his head forward just enough. Oh man, I just timed that wrong. Man, those two things are really moving. I don't remember them walking around that fast. They're booking. I got so many of these potions now. It's Oh, can I just tell you how upset I am? The Forbidden West, they fixed the fact that you can't see, or that you can't place the items like your potions and stuff. You can't place them where you want to in Zero Dawn. But you can, didn't I mark you? But you can in, I marked him too. But you can do it in Forbidden West. You can move them there. But, nope, nothing to see. Nothing to see. They're looking.
Still gotta be here.
Huh. I don't have any, like, warning things, but they're, like, in high alert state, like, looking for me. Huh, that was weird. Got him. Alright. How do we get over there? Oh, I can go up over. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, they, I lost my train of thought again. I got distracted by their distraction. Ah. Come on, up, 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 before they see you. What are you doing? Get up. They got like question marks popping up in random places, and I don't know why. They're like, oh, there's something here. Oh, wait, is there? Man, they can see so far. Nice. Why are those logs wrapped in like Nora waving, binding things, you know? Oh, nope, I can't. Okay. I was gonna like just glide down and then, oh wait, no, I can't do that. But then perhaps it didn't matter.
Getting cooler. Dark soul.
I'm like trying to do this all stealthy and proper, and it's like, it probably doesn't even matter. Got him. They're so sensitive, but yet they still won't find me. It's very odd. Didn't seem to notice that. All right. Oh, whoops. That's what I was afraid was going to happen.
Look out!
Can't see me. Are they destroying each other? That's funny. Ah, they're gonna hurt themselves? That'd be funny. Oh, I didn't land on anybody. I would have found that amusing. I feel like being like saying like, woo, didn't get me, but like, does it matter all that much? Was that Olin down there the whole time? Did he like fall? Did he get like, yeah. Olin like died. Why are they turning red and stuff? Are they like just turning on each other? Are they fighting Olin? Why are they fighting Olin? That's weird.
You hear that?
Nope. How did I miss him? There we go. Nope. I thought these guys were weak to fire. Okay, well this is done. Oh man, I'm just sucking this episode. Whoa, whoa. Okay, they didn't go anywhere. That's good. Hold still, let me kill you. Olin's fighting now. Whoops. Oh, we're hit by something. And whoa, there you are. Ow, what did I get hit with? You can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Oh, okay. Also not what I thought he was getting ready to do. I feel like a lot of these should be hitting, but okay. Man, I'm making some, like, rookie mistakes right now. Okay. Well, glad that's over. See, this is why things take me like twice as long as they should, because I'm just like, yeah, cool. Alright, let's just kind of dick around for a while and then end up just duking it out anyway. Got a new one, Odyssey. Wish you could look these up a little bit more. I started thinking like, oh, where did I knock its components off at? Can I let me loot the components I knocked off. Oh, wait a minute. It's the wrong game. Can I break this? No. Okay, Olin, you stay there. You wait for me to deal with you later. Did I loot that other corruptor? I guess I did. I don't exactly remember doing so, but... Nope, nothing to loot there. Seems like I should be able to loot him. Alright, well, guess not. Let's go deal with Olin.
I promise. I'll tell you everything.
I know you will. The killers who came for me at the Proving, who are they?
The Eclipse. Some kind of holy warriors. A cult of the Shadow Carja.
Shadow Carja?
Except they're not like any Carja I've known. They don't pray to the sun. They worship some kind of devil.
I'm not interested in their superstitions.
Oh, it's not a superstition. Their devil is real. It has a name, a voice. The most terrible voice. And they do its bidding.
You say this devil the Eclipse worship has a name?
Hades. That's what they call it.
Hades. And you've heard it speak?
Steel to my soul. I heard. Just once, when it saw you. Such a voice. A cold, awful jangle. It scrapes your bones. It hollows your guts.
I don't think I'd call that a
metal
jangle.
Sound, but like nothing dug from the earth or smelted in a forge.
And what did it say?
System threat detected. Just 3 words. But in the voice of a devil.
I'm noticing in this, or reminded of this, I guess, in, they didn't have a very subtle, field of view? Is that the right thing? Where, like, what's in front, if you're looking at something in the distance, it's clear, but what's closer to you is very fuzzy. And, this game has a very sharp transition in its focuses. Also, I forgot about all, like, the edge stuff. The edges are all vignetted with blurriness and the darkness and everything. I forgot about that.
What are these Eclipse cultists after besides me?
They never said. But given the Carja civil war, they must want to overthrow Sun King of Ard and take Meridian back.
What do I have to do with that?
I don't know.
When they attacked the Proving, a man came for me. Tall, strong, dead eyes.
He is
And who is he?
the terror of the sun. Stacker of corpses, we Oseram called him when he was the Mad Sun King's champion. If only he'd died with his king. But now he leads the Eclipse. I tell you, he's the most dangerous man alive.
Good thing I'm the most dangerous woman alive. Pew, 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 pow, pow.
How
Stab.
did the Eclipse recruit you? I know they took your family hostage, but why you?
I was a scrounger, a rummager in dark places, good at what I do. I suppose they knew I would serve them well as a scout. I had taken a delve near Maker's End. When I surfaced, they were waiting. I laughed when I saw the priest, but then he showed me Helis's encouragement. I didn't laugh after that. They gave me a focus to watch my every move. I followed orders.
You had access to Meridian. Why didn't they get to Avad through you?
Too much dirt under my nails for an audience with the one true Sun King. But whatever Ursa or Erend told me, the Eclipse heard every word through my focus. That's why I couldn't warn you. If I'd tried, they would have killed my family.
Why are the Eclipse digging up ancient machines? And how do they get them to work?
I thought they wanted them for scrap, but they brought them back to life. Plugged some kind of device into the corpses so that Hades could whisper to them and call them from their grave.
I've fought that kind of machine before. Are there others?
Yes, the ones you fought today they called corruptors, but there are others, much bigger, bristling with ancient weapons. Those they call Deathbringers. I've only seen them buried in the ground, but after today, anything is possible.
Sounds to me like they're raising an army.
If so, the world will fall. And I helped dig the pit.
That's right. Time to pay with your life.
The Eclipse were sent to kill me because I look like another woman. Older, maybe twice my age, short hair. Who is she?
I don't know. My focus found her image once, in the ruins at Maker's End.
Oh,
Maybe you can
yes.
find her there.
That's how we end up
You
there.
found her image in the ruins? How?
There was a door. Beside it, a kind of ancient device that contained the woman's image. My focus recorded the location. You do look like her. Is she your mother?
I'm the one asking questions.
And I'm not answering questions I don't know about. I don't like the way they said this. Like, I know this is like time to judge you because that's what you're gonna do, but like phrasing.
I've heard enough. It's time to finish this.
I won't beg for my life. But if there's any mercy in you, free my family. Please.
Where would I find them?
My focus recorded the location. There are always guards there. You look like you can handle yourself.
I'm trying to think if I ever killed Olin in one of these playthroughs. I'm trying to think if I killed him in my first playthrough. No, I must not have, because I got everybody at the end. And there, I think there's a trophy for everybody at the end of the game is there with you at Meridian. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Do we want to kill him? I've done the redeem yourself. I thought I had done the your life is forfeit. Maybe I saw somebody else do that in a stream. I don't remember. This is complicated. Alright, I don't know that I've done this one before, but I know I've done it and at least seen that one. So I guess we'll do this one. No one's in chat suggesting anything, so yeah, let's do it, I guess. There we go.
All this time I tracked you down. I thought this decision would be simple. It's not. Your role in events was coerced. Perhaps you're not an evil man. Just a weak one.
I am.
How
The
magnanimous
only
of you.
strength I
there,
ever found in
Aloy.
this life was my family.
Death is what you've earned. And yet...
I know what I deserve, Aloy. You shouldn't hesitate.
Okay, I must have picked that one before, because I thought there were only 2 choices here, so. Alright, well, I don't think I'm gonna kill him. Nah, not today. Not today. Maybe next time, though. Honestly, if we keep him alive, we get that, he's got another... Eventually got another, quest for us. And so, that one's kind of an interesting one. So we'll keep up with that, and... Wonder if you end up having to do that if you kill him. I don't remember. I don't know now.
It will take many good deeds to make up for the crimes you've committed.
You're sparing me? After all I've done?
Yes. Forge a new life, Olin. One of better make.
Then the rest of my life will be lived in your dead.
Go to the place where your family is being held and wait for me. We'll make their lives the first ones you save.
I didn't earn this mercy, but I will die to make myself worthy of it. I will be waiting for you.
This is kind of like one of the problems I've got with Aloy. I don't want to say with Aloy, but with the game. It's like... Oh, I think we're getting ready to be talked to again. Aloy's brought up under Rost. You know, you can be a good hunter, good machine hunter, but, you know, basically a good person. And you're fair and all that stuff. And, you know, she suddenly... you get the attack at the Proving. And yeah, people died there. And you're forced to defend yourself. But suddenly... You know, what did we kill? 50 people, maybe? To get out of there? So Aloy has to kill suddenly 50 people. Just like that. And then we go through and we're like clearing out bandits. And we're just killing any of the Eclipse that we see. And everybody here. And it's like, oh yeah, Olin, you deserve to die. And I am clearly qualified to like pass judgment on you. And which way's out? Where are we at? Oh, over there. And it's like, you know, I don't know, is she's like, Aloy's very prudish, they play her off as, like, you can't make any dirty jokes, she doesn't care for that, or doesn't quite get it, and also, you shouldn't use foul, well, I don't know, did she get on anybody for language? I don't know if she's gotten on anybody for language. She gets on, you know, Erend for having a drink, sometimes, people not being focused and all that, and you know, she got a, I don't know if you would call it a mightier than thou kind of sensibility, but like a, you know, she certainly sees the world a certain way, expects people to act that way, and how dare you not do so. It's kind of the vibe, I think. So that's interesting, I think, to say the least. I saw a campfire. Okay, it's over there. We got a couple more. Can meet Erend, so let's do that since we're here. Field of the Fallen. Okay. Just double check that. Yeah. I don't know, it's just very weird. That's all I'm getting at. Oh, I didn't know I could stand on that. Nice. Stupid machine's waiting for me. But, yeah, anyway, I don't know what the point was I was getting to it, but, you know, she's just like, oh, yeah, I just kill people. Yeah, whatever. Don't you drink. Don't you anything else. I don't have time for jokes or anything. You know, I don't know. It's just weird. The idea of, like, and you have to play it that way because that's what these games are. It's just like, yeah, of course, you know, you have to go and, like, you know, kill people and stuff to get through games like this, or there wouldn't be a challenge. But at the same time, it's like, is that really her personality? Like, serious, no nonsense, very focused, and maybe not either understanding or recognizing or caring about, I won't say others' problems, but the things other people are doing and whether it's in good fun or not or stuff like that.
Erend, and he's in trouble.
Oh, of course he is. Why is that one blue? Oh, I guess they're all blue. I'm used to them being orange? I don't know.
They saw me.
I haven't not knocked any of the horns off of this guy. There we go.
I'm glad that's over with. Thanks for the help. Come on over here and have a word.
It's weird. It was weird hearing Erend in the new.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
It was weird hearing Erend in Forbidden West. Because the voice is a little bit different. You know, just because the voice actor is a little bit
Why, you
older.
don't feel like talking?
Or they're trying to play him as a little older, or, you know, sometimes just how it is. It's been years between when he did these voices, so makes sense.
Hey, seriously, we need to talk.
But, it was weird. And now, I'm here playing this for the first time in a while, and it's weird hearing the, I'll say the old voice, the original voice. Very odd. Very, very odd. That's all I'm
What are
saying.
you doing out here all alone?
I talk a lot and don't say anything.
Where are your men?
I'm not gonna risk their lives. I don't mind putting my worthless ass on the line, but not theirs. Sorry I had to drag you into it.
Don't worry. This is just an average day for me. You know, take down some machines, track some killers.
Right. I'd hate to see a busy morning for you. Ready to get started?
Tell me exactly what happened to Ursa. Start from the beginning.
No one knows for sure. She left in the middle of the night with a few of her best men.
Her best men. But she didn't bring you?
No. I'd been drinking a lot. Or maybe she thought... damn, I don't know. I couldn't hack it. Search parties found their bodies the next day, and the corpses of some Shadow Karja cowards. It was an ambush. The Shadow Karja are animals. They beat her so bad we can't even show her face before burial.
I'm so sorry, Erend.
Yeah, well, when I find the soldiers who did this, they'll be sorry too.
Are you sure you're all right?
Well, I'm sober, so no.
I feel
Well,
you.
I'm glad you're thinking straight at least.
Don't get used to it.
You don't have any idea why she left in the middle of the night?
No. But it must have been urgent. A message, a report of some new Shadow Karja threat, I don't know.
Oh, it's just messing with something in OBS. I'm gonna need to get a new monitor. Oh, the bleed-in happens so quickly now. Like, OBS is like left burn-in. Just this little time I've had it open. It just started like a couple days ago. It's never been like this. Why? Why is all my stuff broken?
Why would the Shadow Karja do this?
Because they hate us. And Ursa most of all. She teamed up with Avad to kick their asses out of Meridian. They've been licking their wounds for 2 years, but they finally found a way to get back at her.
All right. Show me where Ursa fell, and I'll do what I can to help.
Come on, follow me.
I'd have caught up with you.
Why would Ursa come all the way out here?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Is this Shadow Karja territory?
No. They broke the ceasefire as soon as they set foot in the cleft.
What's the cleft?
Almost there. Hey, this is it. Where the ambush happened. Our soldiers have been over it, but maybe that fancy artifact of yours can find a clue or something? Please. I need to find the bastards that did this.
A Shadow Karja spear. It's perfectly sharp. Never seen action. Those bloodstains, not the kind that would pool around a corpse. They look like smears. Arrows
Yeah,
scattered there.
Neither would know all about how blood pools around corpses. She's put a few out herself.
They look good as new. Never fired.
So why don't you take them? Why do I keep having to make these things? Can't even pick up after yourself.
Must be Shadow Karja armor. Strange. Not a scratch on it. These look like drag marks. Did someone move a body through here?
What do you see there?
This stain forms a line, as if blood dripped off the edge of something, like a cart. See? Cart tracks. I think someone moved the bodies here, then scattered them across the field.
Wait. Are you saying the dead found here were killed somewhere else? But why would the Shadow Karja do that?
At this point, I'm not taking it for granted that the Shadow Karja are responsible.
Of course they were.
Well, let's follow these tracks and find out.
Ah, gotcha, bird. That turkey was waiting to ambush us. Waiting for us to turn our backs on it so it could kill us.
Keep that for later.
You can't trust birds. Alright, we got the campfire. Very nice. Let's do a quick save. Whoop. Nope. There we go.
I get why they wanted Ursa dead. But why fake an ambush?
There's more to this, and we're gonna figure it out.
Kind of out of the way, but I always liked the trail coming up and down from here. The way it kind of switchbacks and everything. Ah, here's our next mug, I believe. Yes, there it is. Jomei. Don't know what that's supposed to be. A reference to, or an Easter egg of something. Let's see, do we have it yet? Odyssey. I think Miriam. Is that supposed to be a callback to Killzone or something? I don't know. I never played Killzone. Arches. I don't know. Oh, that's from Red Rock. Drone Hop? I read his thing somewhere at some point. It was talking about the Easter eggs in the mugs, but I don't remember what they were. Cool story, right? Yeah. Yeah. Cool story. I feel like I'm always climbing all over these things and expecting there to be like a hidden thingy in them, but like there never is. It is fun to try and climb up on the top of those things, though. Oh.
These guys aren't Shadow Karja. They're from my tribe, the Asaram.
Is this how your people usually greet each other?
Help me, fool!
Oh, I don't know what kind of ammo that was. That was crazy. Oh, that should have got him. Oh my gosh. These arrows should be hitting him.
Uh-oh. What's that?
I think it's calling in machines. Get ready.
Uh-oh, what's what? That's what. Okay, fire for those things.
This is what you trained for!
That's what you trained for, maybe. Ah! Hello. Oh my god, how many are there? Oh my gosh. I was trying to use up potions, but I literally can't afford to right now. I'm literally just dying. Oh my gosh, leave me alone. Ow! Ow! Ah! Oh my gosh. Please stop! Please don't hurt me! Give me your laser gun! Oh my god. They didn't even hit me that time. And I am not going to be able to get to their... to that gun. Is it like destroyed now? I don't even see it anywhere. I think they destroyed it. There we go. Where are the guns? Oh, seriously? He wasn't close enough.
You made a big mistake.
Seriously, where are the... Where are the cannons that I knocked off? Are they getting destroyed? Did they do an update to this game to make it like Forbidden West?
Asaram, not Shadow Karja. Looks like I was wrong about everything, as usual. Please, use that second sight of yours. I have to know what really happened.
I'm on it.
You think I can figure out what happened here? I can't even find a giant laser gun. two of them. I can't find two of them. Anybody else have this happen in Forbidden West? This happens all the time. This never happened in this game before. It happened all the time in Forbidden West, where it's like I knock a thing off and then it just disappears. Apparently they can get crushed, so that sucks. I've had the cannons that I've knocked off just fall into the ground. Apparently you can destroy an item rather than knocking it off. So I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, because that's not a thing that happened before. It's like, oh, let me knock that part off. You knocked it off. You knocked it off. Not this, Oh, that's a fire thing. Okay. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's gonna... Or, like, you'd kill something. Like, oh, let's say the final blow was me knocking the Ravager cannon off. It would kill them, but it would also knock the Ravager cannon off, and I could pick it up and use it. And that's not a thing. You can't, like... You can't knock something... You can't do the killing blow on something, even if it would have been enough to knock it off. Like, oh, it always takes 2 arrows to knock that off. Maybe with the second one and they die, you're not getting that, You're not getting that thing back. Or, I say back, but not going to be able to pick it up. Yeah, the things I've had just sink into the ground were other such rubbish. Very frustrating.
This is what brought the machines here. It's sophisticated. Whoever built it knows what they're doing.
Okay, I'm thinking that's everything.
Looks like you could mount some equipment on that thing. There, by the tripod. A used power cell.
A couple of them.
Those rocks, they're shattered. So much blood. What are those leather straps? Armor straps, cut with a knife. And a rock with blood on it. A lot of people died here. A massacre.
Basically,
Something hit these
that
stones.
corpse they think is
Something
Ursa.
I've never seen before.
whoever that was got their face curb stomped in, basically. Ancient debris, wherever that's at. How far away is that? Where? Oh, there it is. Like, where's this ancient debris at? We got some trinkets to sell. Can I get through here? I don't think I'm gonna make it through there. Okay.
Can't be too prepared.
Okay, let's get this over with. Oh, there's that cart full of blood. Look how this was never even, you know, part of the equation. Wasn't even looked at.
These look like Vanguard weapons. There's no blood on them. Ursa's men didn't fight back.
Okay, well apparently I don't need to investigate anymore.
This is Ursa's helmet. I thought she died in the field below, but it must have been here. All this trickery. For what? Feels like it's just to torture me.
I have a theory, but it takes a little imagination.
So far, your theories are better than other people's facts.
All right. I think the Oseram ambushed Ursa and her men with a new weapon. They mounted it on that tripod up there. It fires waves of force, maybe sound. Looks like it cracked the stone there. I think it paralyzes people instead of killing them. It dropped the Vanguard right there. No blood on their weapons. No fight.
But why paralyze them if you're only gonna move them and gut them?
They were trying to hide something. Look here, a bloody rock.
That they used to smash Ursa's face in.
Or someone else's. These leather straps have been cut, as if they took the armor off someone.
That can't be. Her body is lying in state in Meridian. I saw it.
You said she was unrecognizable. Maybe they switched another body into her armor, someone around the same size, and mutilated it enough so it could have been anyone, even Ursa. Go back to Meridian. Take another look at that body. If it's really Ursa, of course I'm wrong. But if I'm right...
Then my sister could be alive. I'm going. Meet me back there when you can.
I never really had a good, let's say like a gaming PC. I built a computer. I'm like, oh yeah, you can game, but it's like, it's been pretty craptastic because I didn't know what I was doing when I built originally. And so gaming, like on computers, like it's never been really a thing I did a whole lot. Plus, I always had consoles, so like I have consoles, I got games for consoles. I'm invested in original titles that exist for consoles. You know how that goes. Like Horizon. And so I always play this and I thought, man, it's pretty good graphics. I mean, look at this. It's such a beautiful world. It's awesome. You know, it's the detail on the clothing is also great. You know, the people, they look like people. And supposedly, the graphics on like a console, they're not as good as what a computer can do, which, you know, makes sense to me. But I don't have anything to compare it to, personally. So, let's go ahead and save our game here. Not anything to compare it to. So I look at it and it's like, yeah, it's pretty great looking game. And, you know, yeah, probably it's not like the best looking game ever. Like, duh, that makes sense. But like, you know, especially got towards the end of its lifetime. And then, yeah, of course it's not as great, but it can still be pretty good. And then, got the PlayStation 5 and saw some of the games that they transferred over on, you know, like, oh, you can play this on the PlayStation 5, and which I'm doing now, and it's like, oh, yeah, it looks pretty great. But, you know, yeah, it looks like a last-gen game. Played Final Fantasy VII Remake on there. Wow, yeah, it looks pretty good. You know, yeah, I like that. But it didn't look too much different than this. A little bit better, but not crazy, you know. Horizon Forbidden West is mind-blowingly amazing graphics. Just like all the little texture details that you don't really realize you're missing until you see them there. Ugh, it's crazy. Like that rock. Like, that rock looks great. It's fine. It's got texture and everything. But there'd be, like, 3 other sub-levels of, like, shading and texture done on that big rock there. And it would just, yeah, just everything is like that. And it's like, oh, have computers always been able to do that? Is that a thing? I know. Console plebs. What else do you expect? Oh, wait. I want to do this. So we're going to head right over there. Like, out of this whole giant map of everything. Like how this place, this specific place right here, is the fork in the road. This fork right here. Not this fork. Not this fork. Not this fork. Or this, or that, or that, or this fork. Definitely not any of the 3 other forks that are right here. 4 other forks. Not that fork. This one. This is specifically the fork in the road. Like, what? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I need more tea. My tea is gone, and even if it wasn't gone, it's now cold. The last little bit that I drank. So, we're gonna go ahead and take a bio break. Take yourself a bio break. And, yeah, I will be back in just a few minutes. If you're watching this on YouTube, where we keep all the archives of our stream in 1080, by the way, for anybody in the watching the stream, and you're like, this was cool, but I missed other stuff. There's an archive, or you're like, I'd rather just watch it when it's 1080. You can totally do that. But yeah, what was I saying? We'll be back in just a half a second if you're on YouTube, but otherwise, a couple minutes. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, so maybe when I first started, it did maybe not pick up all the way. Maybe there's some input lag from OBS actually picking up my voice. Maybe it just doesn't read out on the meter right away. Go back and listen to this, because I thought it didn't get my voice when I first started the stream, but okay, it ended up working. Okay, it's what's happening again. I don't know. Alright, further proof that there is not a single thing in my life that is not broken in some manner or another. Because, of course, it is constantly. Finally fix OBS and the stream setup and recording setup, and oh wait, no, it's still broken. Yeah. And of course the tea bag. I was just upstairs and making myself some tea, and yeah, tea bag completely, the string came off the end of it, and so the whole tea bag basically, quote unquote, exploded. So not like a, boom explosion, but like the string that ties the top of the packet closed untied itself and opened up, and all of its contents spilled out. Luckily not all of them, a lot of them, but not all of them. So I can... This is weird that this is a square. Because normally when you have to go somewhere, it's like a it's always a circle. In this game, right? In other games, yeah, they do squares or triangles or whatever, but like it's always like, oh, you want to come over here somewhere, and it's like a circle radius thing. Cool, let's go up here, I suppose. We want to, okay, we got settlements found, and we got the fireplace found. I don't think there's anything else. These are all shadow carja people, I think. But they just let anybody walk in. That doesn't seem quite right. Anything to find up here?
Move along. What do you suppose is happening in Meridian right now? Feasting, I wager.
Tread
Hello.
lightly, Outlander. I'm good at remembering faces.
Okay, well. Time to leave. Bye!
Quick way down.
Oh, I really want them to have a patch for this. For this game. Where they can put, where they can add in the, I forget what it's called.
A fork. This must be where Nassan was supposed to check in.
A wing thing. That's all I can think of. The shield wing. There we go. Is that what I'm thinking of? Not the shield wing. I don't know. That little thing that you float from the second game. Whatever that's called.
I like Meridian fine, but I prefer the country. Or at least I did, before the machines got so bad.
It's an interesting, you're not talking to him?
So much to worry about. Sunfall, machines, shards. I need a breath.
Yeah, sometimes you just need floor time. Okay, well, I don't remember what I was talking about, so nothing unusual there. Of course, nothing unusual here either. Ruins and dead people.
It looks like there was a scuffle here, but no body. If someone dragged Nassan off, there should be tracks. Oh, here we are. Let's see where they went.
Who's that guy? This is a Banuk? What the heck? What is a Banuk doing down here? A little ways from home, aren't you, buddy? Come on, talk to me. What are you doing here? You're in the wrong biome, buddy. Alright, well, I'm just gonna be on our way.
Need them soon enough.
Forget where this quest takes us. Oh, this big place. Okay.
Spotted.
No, I wasn't.
The shadow fudge on the coast. Let's hope Nassan is inside.
No one here. Just no one and nothing here. Turn around, turn around. Ah! Okay, jerks. Couldn't just leave well enough alone, could you? You had to make me kill you. Well, I didn't alert the people in the fortress like I thought I would, so that's good. Oh, famous last words. I think this is more people than there usually is. Oops. That was weird. How'd that happen? Ouch. Again. How does this keep happening? People are sneezing real hard and just, like, dropping dead. So weird. sun glare. Oh, how's everybody alerted?
Quietly.
Hey, come here, buddy. Oh, ooh, it did get him. I didn't think it would for a second. Oh, it's not what I want. Okay, woo. They let me do it. That's the one thing about this game. There's no, gotta be just right place, and there's a really tiny window. Nothing to see.
Lying in the grass, huh? I'll find you.
Oh, does that alert him? Ah, that's not what I wanted.
Lost him!
Oh, okay, fine. Jerks. There we go.
Come on, you guys!
Oops. Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry.
Not done yet.
Oh, wow. Man, these people just popping out of nowhere, just jumping all over my spear. What the heck? You know, honestly, this is a whole lot faster than this place normally goes for me. Because usually I like I did at the last place. Super, super sneaky. Don't be seen. Very sneaky. And then I get seen at some point, and I waste, you know, an hour, half an hour trying to be sneaky when it just comes down to being a slugfest in the end anyway. Because of course it does. Because why wouldn't it?
Sunset. Maybe a chance to rest.
Ah. You're in a video game, girl. You don't rest. Oh, is there a second person there? That guy's just, uh-oh! Hey, could you stand up again? Make it so I can see you? Uh-oh! Come on, stay down. Wow. Okay. Well, I saved it at the end. That was just plain terrible and pathetic. Is there somebody up here? No. Here we go. Here's a couple people. Nope. No. I gotta say, I was excited for the broadened expanse of climbing in the new game, even though it's not like a complete Assassin's Creed free climb. But I thought, oh, it'll be cool. And it is cool. But they went kind of Assassin's Creed-y, but went full Assassin's Creed syndrome, as I label it. Because is this guy over here actually in? Yeah, he's in the castle. They went full on Assassin's Creed syndrome, where you stick to anything and everything except for what you're actually trying to stick to, which is the biggest flaw and problem with Assassin's Creed. Certainly my biggest problem with it.
He needs help.
Let's try this again. I'll keep it simple since you're obviously feeble. What were you doing out by the fork?
It was a picnic. With your mother.
I think he's trying to hurt your feelings. Won't work. My mother loves a good picnic.
Be that as it may, we're not getting anywhere.
That's all right. I don't mind breaking a few of his bones.
How many do you think we'll have to crack to make him squeal?
He's got spirit. Might take 7.
All right. I'm taking wagers.
No, so much for... I always screw up at least by the time I get here. Oh, okay, that was a big fall. Oh, of course, they always stop right when you get ready to... They can tell you're leading them. Oh, oops. That's bad.
Let me die.
Well, let's just scream at each other. That usually solves everything, right? Oh, so close. Oh, that was a sucky kill. Oh, that had to be a headshot. Oh, why do I suck so bad? I'm out of practice of the jumping because I can't do it in Forbidden West because they hate us. Oh, that should have hit. See, some of those things where it's like I can't decide whether is it like does the 3D lie about, like, what should hit. I'm using my... Oh, why did I let go there? There we go. Christ. I always wonder if, like... Is it just, like, the angle I'm at, so it looks like it should hit, but doesn't? Or is it just, like... They're trying to say the arrow is too slow, so they moved quicker? Or something? You know, one of those things where it's like... Okay, sure. It's only because you have to slow an arrow down because it's a video game, you know? It's not real. Ooh, treasure. See, Horizon doesn't really have treasures. So I kind of miss... I can still loot corpses, but, like, it's been a while to, like, for me to really get treasures.
Kindeev sent me. Let's get you out of here.
I thought that old salt had abandoned me. Guess I owe him a slap on the back. Come on, this way.
Oh, hold on. I wanted to drink some tea. Where are you going? Over there. Whee! Skittish. Oh, how convenient. Thanks, guys. Let's get this quest over with.
Kindeev told me about the cause. Did you lose the shipment?
No, it's hidden nearby. There's a lot of hungry people in Sunfall that will be happy to see it.
Good. Now, listen. When you head back to Meridian, talk to a noble named Ravon. If you're honest with him, I think he'll help.
Beg a high blood for help? But after everything you've done, I can't refuse. But for now, I'm bound for Sunfall. Be safe.
Ugh, I can't believe I'd have to stoop so low as to working and being nice with and to this high-blood noble person who thinks everybody else is gross and beneath them. Just like me. I mean, wait a minute. No, not like, damn it. This is a very weird takeoff for that goose. Alright, what else do we have up here? Is that all our big quests here? Don't really feel like going for that thing. Oh, yeah, we need to go to Meridian. See, that's the other Olin quest. That one's a good quest. Oh, I actually have to return to Ravon. Okay, so we'll go return to Ravon and talk to him. And then we'll come in here and we'll talk to we'll get some Talanah. I like Talanah. She's cool. She's dope. I like the whole Aloy Talanah thing. I said Alana. This isn't Wheel of Time. I like the whole Aloy Talanah thing, and Talanah's, you know, super cool and a badass and everything. But I gotta say, I think I think I'm kind of partial for Petra, and I'm definitely partial to Vanasha. Chef's kiss to Vanasha. Drink some more tea here. Okay. Okay, he is this way. Is that a torch? Why isn't that thing lit? And what are these things? You got a weird thing there, which I think is a torch, but I can't tell. And you got these weird things. What are these weird things? Why do we have weird altar things? They're like altars with giant paper sticks on them. Is this for the child sacrifices or just regular people sacrifices? So we just like drop people, sling people on top of those things, like swing. See, what are these things? These things look torches, but if that's a torch, it's a terrible torch. You know, fire whoever made that.
I'm keeping my eyes open.
Up the steps.
A man named Nassan came to see me, and we came to an arrangement. I think many in Sunfall will benefit from it. All this from a stolen sword. As they say, follow the shadow, and you'll find a flame.
Do they say that, though? I like his arm wraps, his, like, upper arm wrappy things. Silk with some medallion things on them and stuff, but still, very nice. I like them. Alright, hello, Mr. Merchant.
There's a guard under the last gate.
That's not an actual armor we ever get. That's not an armor we actually ever get, but I love it. That would be a super dope armor. That's not an armor we ever get, although I think they have mods, but you shouldn't use those. That looks like Petra's getup, I think, in this game anyway. Ah, classic Banuk. Yes, yes. Alright, let's see what we can sell. Some charms, luminous braiding. Luminous braiding's hard to come by in the new one. I just want to say, make sure if you get into Forbidden West and you don't know nothing about it, make sure that you don't sell machine cores or really any of the heart things. It's pretty clear. It does a really much better job of demarcating what you can sell versus what you should keep. Although you can sell the things that you should keep too if you really want to, but it's got a clear delineation, makes it real clear. But yeah. I need so many cores. The small cores I'm doing alright with so far. Those medium cores, ugh, need so many medium cores. Okay, none of these look to be duplicates. Aha, I thought we'd be close with one of these. There are so many watches in the second game. Like, that's like your loot mostly consists of watches. And I'm thinking, there's like enough watches for there to be like 20,000 watches a person. And they are stored everywhere. In things, with things, on things, you know, in the ground, just laying there. And everything has some watch or another. It just blows my mind. You would think that if you're going to go putting those things everywhere, you would put, you know, you'd put magic rectangle or something like that, you know. Glass rectangle, or, you know, I don't know really how they were advanced enough in this world that they have like holograms. They've got focuses. Don't know how rare or unrare they are, but you got those little like Palm Pilot looking things that you can scan for data points or audio data points or holographic data points or whatever. You got all those, but they're kind of big and bulky. You can only get so much stuff off of them. They seem to be more like journals than anything else. But, yeah, I don't know. You don't find those everywhere and, like, trade them. Then you scan them and leave them. You don't, like, oh, this will be valuable. Let me, you know, sell this to a scrapper, salvager person. Okay, let's cut this way. Here we go, here we go. It's Talanah, here we come.
Don't even think about making trouble.
We're up the steps because we might as well if it'll actually let us do it.
You need to win 3 half-suns at our hunting grounds to gain admittance to the lodge.
Well, here you go, Scarface.
Very well, then. Congratulations, and welcome. Our members reap rewards and adventure and live on in legend.
Am I a member now?
No, you're only a fledgling. Junior members are called thrushes. To join and become a thrush, you need a senior member called a hawk to sponsor you.
So I need to find a hawk.
Yes, but a hawk can only sponsor 1 hunter at a time, and I'm afraid most of them already have one.
I've overcome worse odds. Where do I start?
Upstairs, present yourself to the Sunhawk Assis, our leader, who should introduce you to a hawk. I hope it's worth it.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
So much for a warning. Could have given us one. Oh, I love that one. I think it's the one we were just looking at on the... it's a little different. It's kind of like a blend of the one we've got versus that one we were looking at on the thing. Did you see her stretching in the background? The flap of her arm things? Man, it must be like happy hour. Everybody's just walking in here right now. What was I saying? I don't really remember. Oh, I always thought it was like the impression you get from one of these, what these guys are saying sometimes is that, you know, oh, welcome to the lodge, you know, where we have 200 members, 200 hawks and growing. And then other times it seems like there's 10 hawks and there can only ever be 10 hawks. And you can't not be a thrush until your hawk dies and then you take his place. But like, I don't know, they just always seem contradicting to what's supposed to be going on.
By the sun! King Avad's edict really is taking effect. Never thought I'd see a Nora here and a woman at that. So, you have marks for me?
What do you mean?
From the hunting grounds. Oh, right, you're new here.
What do you want with my marks?
You hunters and your badges. I'm not gonna take them. I'm going to give you a weapon that sets you apart. Yeah, I thought that'd get your attention. If you earn marks in all 3 trials at each of the 5 hunting grounds, come to me. I can give you up to 3 weapons, 1 for 15 half-suns, 1 for 15 full suns, and 1 you'll love for all blazing suns.
Blazing?
Are you a member?
Me? No. Karja don't exactly encourage their daughters to run around hunting machines. But all the changes in Meridian have been good to me.
They're lost.
I don't think the Oseram know how to sell to us Karja. The trader I worked for last couldn't sell flowers to a bee. He was too plain hammered, as they like to say. This is a much better job. I figure I'll be able to open my own shop soon enough.
I don't know how exactly she makes money by this. I guess she's supposedly supposed to be like a... They should have made her like a merchant. You know? They could like buy and sell some things.
What edict?
King Avad insisted that the Hunter's Lodge had to welcome everyone. Man, woman, outlander, regardless of tribe. Ursa, captain of the Vanguard, came in and delivered that news personally. You should have been there. It was glorious. But I figured they would sweep it under the rug and say no woman or outlander qualified. Yet here you are.
Yet here we are.
What do I do with these marks?
If you get the same mark from all the hunting ground trials, I can give you a Hunter's Lodge weapon. Show me what marks you've earned, and we'll see if you qualify for one of these special weapons I have for you.
I'm a little short on marks.
No problem. Once you have marks from all 15 trials, you'll be able to get the next Hunter's Lodge weapon from me.
Yeah, we are gonna super not do that. Alright, let's see what we got here. Bylaws of the Lodge. If I remember correctly, this is kind of lengthy. Section 1 Preamble. Hunt is the noblest pursuit in the Sundom, save those of the Sun King and his Sun Priests. The hunt is strength, the hunt is honor, the hunt protects, the hunt preserves. AKA the obligatory stuff that we have to put in there, that way when we say we're the best, even though we know that we're the best, we're not going to step on anybody's pride and they can feel like they're better, even though we know they're not. That's what that is. What is the hunt but competition? What is competition without rank, honor, and victor? I don't know. It can still be competition. The Lodge lends law and lore to the hunt, so all will know who has prevailed. Shouldn't it be whom? We'll know all. So all will know whom has prevailed. I think it should be whom. Thus the Lodge is not just its members, and not just its house in Meridian. It is the spirit of the hunt, a code to be honored, an ideal to be lived. Only those of the noblest blood can embody the noblest ideas. As such, only Karja males of pure blood may honor the Lodge and tread in its house. Except for by order of his radiance of odd 14th, blah blah blah. By Law 5, Section 1 hereby rescinded. Membership. No hunter shall gain admittance to the Lodge without 3 half-sons, 1 with honor at any hunting ground. There are 2 classes of member, Hawk being senior, Thrush being junior. Rank of Thrush can only be gained through sponsorship of a Hawk. Each Hawk may sponsor only 1 Thrush. Okay, yeah, so there will only be 7 Hawks. There will only be 7 Hawks. A Thrush can only become a Hawk through the death of his sponsor. But see, and like, different things always make it seem like, oh yeah, we're spreading out. We're a giant lodge, and we have many members and many Hawks. I don't know. It seems the messaging seems conflicted. Oh yeah, the Hawk who hunts the greatest prey shall become Sunhawk and lead the Lodge. In the event the quality of prey is in dispute, the Hawk who hunted first shall remain first as Sunhawk. Only Karja males of pure blood, and that is now rescinded. Thank you, Avad. Proof of the hunt. The greatest hunts often bear no witness, therefore a trophy must be kept. A trophy may be submitted to the Sunhawk as proof of a victorious hunt. The trophy must be intact, undamaged, and from a recent hunt. Sunhawk shall have final authority in any dispute over trophy's worth. Basically, do any kind of politicking that you can to become the Sunhawk of the Lodge, and then keep the rules of the Lodge and said politicking to make sure you can never be ousted. Only Karja males, and then that is rescinded. Protect and preserve. A hunt for its own sake is noble. A hunt in the service of others is blessed by the sun. When called upon, hawks and thrushes must undertake any reasonable hunt asked of them, if it serves to protect the citizens of the Sundom. The Sunhawk has sole authority to negotiate any fees or bounties associated with any hunt undertaken by members of the Lodge on behalf of the Sundom. So the Sunhawk can make sure that if he doesn't like you, you don't make any money. Any profit from any hunt undertaken by members of the Lodge on behalf of the Sundom shall be shared by all 7 Hawks. Administered by the Sunhawk. Yeah, that seems real dumb. Only males, now rescinded. Hunting grounds. For the purpose of training and recruiting the best and greatest hunters, the Lodge shall provide and maintain hunting grounds. Each hunting grounds shall test a different range of skills through 3 trials crafted by its keeper, in consultation with the Sunhawk. There shall be 3 rewards for each trial, in ascending order of performance: half sun, full sun, blazing sun. Blazing. Hunters who prove themselves by winning the requisite numbers of suns may be entitled to special gear at the Lodge, at the discretion of the Sunhawk. That way you don't get anything if he doesn't like you. The Lodge shall provide funds for the construction and maintenance of all trials and facilities at hunting grounds. The Lodge shall receive all profits associated with the sale of parts, ammunition, and equipment from all hunting grounds. Any profits received from hunting ground shall be shared by all 7 hawks, administered by the Sunhawk, so he can make sure he takes the most. Keeper shall be chosen exclusively by the Sunhawk and serve for a term of 7 years. That way you can be banished if the Sunhawk doesn't like you. Or being kept from doing something else. Or being forced to do something else. Only cards for males, now rescinded. This seems like a lovely place. Savash. Oh, there's Talanah. Okay. Actually, we've got more things to find, so let's go... What's that? Supply crate. It must be outside.
The sun calls for reconciliation.
I think you might have had too much. We've got more thingies to read somewhere. Nope, that's not it. Or maybe I have to wait till later in the game to read thingies. Oh! Oh! Hey! I almost managed to do what I didn't realize I wanted to do, but then did realize. Supply crate. And then here we have another one. Is that not another supply crate, but a thingy? Ah, yes, Redmaw! Record of Redmaw 1. The Record of Redmaw by inquiring John Dinneman, historian in residence at the Hunter's Lodge. It is well known that facts recede into fictions as they become memories, and fresh facts themselves are ephemeral among rumors and legends of the South. This is especially true in the case of Redmaw, that most terrible of Thunderjaws, a machine which is nothing if not legendary. Few who have laid eyes upon it have survived, and among them even fewer can be trusted not to embellish their tales. All that said, here I have endeavored to truthfully chronicle all the calamities attributed to the beast, and all the expeditions meant to end such calamities once and for all. None have succeeded. As of this writing, the terror of the South still roams free, scarred perhaps, but deadly as the day the sun first shone upon its armored hide. In the early spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, a freehold was destroyed near the hands of the flood. I don't know if we know where that's at. 9 bodies were recovered, 8 riddled with cannon wounds, 1 flattened completely. No witnesses survived. Though never proven, this is widely thought to be Redmaw's first attack. In the late spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 4 hunters set out from Sunstone Rock to track the machine or machines responsible for the destruction of the freehold. None returned. Their bodies were subsequently found in the south, 3 blasted, 1 stomped. Man, he likes to stomp stuff. Never proven, but thought to be Redmaw's work. In the early summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 6 mercenaries set out from Meridian to track the machine or machines responsible for the losses described above. 1 returned, ribs crushed, clavicle fractured. He spoke of a Thunderjaw which split a man in half with a single bite. This is the first confirmed sighting of the legendary machine, and the one which gave it a name. In the late summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 8 set off from Meridian to track Redmaw. None returned. 6 bodies were found near Blackwing Snag, 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated, 1 swallowed his own tongue, evidently in a spasm of terror, suffocating. Do we know where Blackwing Snag is? I feel like we haven't heard of that either. In the autumn of the 18th year of his reign, the Sun King Jiran commanded the Hunter's Lodge to send an expedition south in pursuit of Redmaw. I wonder if this is like farther south of where we can actually travel in this game. After numerous logistical delays, 3 hawks and their thrushes set out in winter. Only 1 pair returned, reporting the deaths of the others, 2 blasted, 1 stomped, 1 decapitated. The survivors were sacrificed for cowardice, 1 gutted by a sawtooth, the other skewered by kestrels. After the setback, members of the lodge grew wary of pursuing the legendary Thunderjaw. Only the proudest hawks even considered it. Aspirants to the lodge, however, foolish in their ambitions, eagerly took part in subsequent hunts. In the summer of the 19th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, the destruction of a caravan south of the Spurflints, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 1 immolated, reignited interest in Redmaw. 3 expeditions totaling 15 mercenaries went after the machine, with only 3 survivors, 9 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated, 1 liquefied. I'd love to know how that happened. In the early spring of the 20th year of the reign of the Sun King Sharon, a cohort of 12 soldiers headed from the Rain Gathers to the Elite were set upon by the beast. Only one survived, one blasted, one stomped, 10 crushed when their fleeing footsteps triggered an avalanche. In the late spring of the 20th year of the reign of the Sun King Sharon, 3 cohorts, totaling 34 men, went in search of Redmaw. Alas, they were ambushed by stalkers, and only 4 survived. 24 sniped, 6 exploded. Understandably, this ended pursuit of Redmaw for some time. He's got his friends to back him up. In the summer of the first year of the reign of the Sun King of Odd, a group of 6 Oseram traders were attacked by the beast. 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 spit into a ravine. The lone survivor petitioned Captain Ursa to send the vanguard after the monster, but the request was denied. However, 3 additional expeditions, comprised of mercenaries and hunters aspiring to the lodge, were subsequently commissioned. Autumn, 7 men, 2 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 tripped on his own spear, 1 survivor. Winter, 9 men, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 2 died from frostbite, 2 survivors. Spring, 11 men, 5 blasted, 1 stomped, 3 retreated off a cliff, 2 survivors. The last known sighting of Redmaw occurred in the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of the Sun King of Odd. Tarkus, Hawk of the Lodge, got word of a sighting near Thunderhead and set off to take the beast on his own. His thrush Talanah, Tarkus, Hawk of the Lodge, got word of the sighting near Thunderhead and set off to take the beast on his own. His thrush, Talanah, arrived at the scene too late, just as Tarkus was dying of his wounds, multiple perforations. Talanah testified that as Redmaw lumbered off through the trees, she could see the spear of her mentor embedded in its hide. I think there's another book up here? Yes. Legendary hunts. Alright, we got more to read. Let's see. Legendary hunts of the Lodge. In the summer of the 4th year of the reign of the Sun King Marzid, did Farukawa's Sunhawk of the Lodge behold a herd of grazers so vast that it filled entire the vale below the Farback. Don't know what that is. His bow was a harp that day, strumming the melody of the hunt from noon to twilight. After, one could not walk a single step across the glen without tripping on an antler of the fallen. It took all 7 hawks and all 7 thrushes to gather the trophies, and with the bounty from their barter, the last wing of the lodge was raised. I mean, you're obviously going to flood the market a little bit there, seems to me. In the winter of the 7th year of the reign of the Sun King Hivas, did Durasiv, Hawk of the Lodge, stalk a herd of tramplers from Sandwhisper Valley in the foothills of the Pale Reach. Don't know where any of that is. Bombs from his sling fell as hailstones, freezing his prey in the waters of the ford. While the others stood as statues in ice, Hivas set upon the largest, driving his spear between his plates and taking his trophy before the rest could even stir. In the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of the Sun King Sharon, as the machines of the Wilds grew ever more deranged, did Kuvam, Hawk of the Lodge, answer the call from the prefect at Daytower to slay the mysterious creature who ripped his best cohort limb from limb. 4 days and 4 nights he tracked his quarry through the savage east before the brute was revealed. Strong as a snapjaw, fast as a strider. From twilight to midnight the battle raged, but Kuvam prevailed at great cost, his left arm chewed ragged to the joint. Thus he named the beast Sawtooth, as he took his trophy from its shattered remains. I just got my hand back. In the autumn of the 8th year of the reign of the Sun King Sharon, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Galadid, Hawk of the Lodge, follow the shimmering death, hunting the southern freeholds into the jungles of the Jewel. Under that tangled canopy the hunter became the hunted, glimpsing in the shadows more of the eerie lights, till he was surrounded by machines he named Stalkers. Long was his flight through the undergrowth to the safety of the Elite, but along the way he turned his bow to his pursuers and became the first to snare a trophy from that which walks in glinting shadow. In the summer of the 13th year of the reign of the Sun King Sharon, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Assis, Hawk of the Lodge, dare to tread the path of broken trees, following the wake of the terrible thing that laid waste to the freehold of Morning Light. An And so, he was first to face the might of the Thunderjaw, greatest of machines that walk the earth. With spear, bomb, and arrow, brave Assis fought to no avail, and only triumphed by turning the Terror's own cannons against it. The carcass of the beast now hangs in the lodge for all to see, so enshrined because its fall turned hawk to Sunhawk. Ha! I think it was great, first to face the might of the Thunderjaw, greatest of the machines that walk the earth. Ooh, you guys just wait till the next game. It's funny, it was like, I don't know how to feel about Assis. Like, he killed the first Thunderjaw. You know, you don't have any strategy on how to kill those things. You're just, oh, what's this? This is new. And it's dangerous and it's bad. So he's got some skill. But, like, he's kind of got, like, this thing going on where it's like, some people have that attitude where you just immediately assume that they're untalented at breathing even, you know?
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're a Nora, are you not? A fighter from the savage lands.
The sacred land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Huh. Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing, right now. Stinking up our lodge, pestering your betters.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk. Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a Hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talanah is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash. Now get out of my sight.
I'm just an old boomer at this point. But isn't that kind of person what they call an incel? I feel like that's what Assis is. If I'm getting that terminology right, I don't know. I'm too much of a boomer, you know. Yeah, I think incel. I think that.
You're Talanah? Assis said you were a hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Redmaw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees,
I forgot it
rocks,
just happened.
People.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
I'm trying to think. She doesn't have that chin strap in the second one, does she? I don't remember. She's the only person I think I've seen wearing a chin strap with their
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
We are wearing similar armors, okay.
Assis, what's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the Lodge. The highest ranking member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So, I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds. But he's a hawk who brought in the trophies first. That's how it works. Whichever hawk defeats the greatest machine first becomes a Sunhawk.
How does one become a hawk?
When a hawk dies, his thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
Yep, seems like a real good club.
I'm ready to hunt, so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me.
I'll consider it. Just to make a sea spoil.
Sounds like a deal. Okay, we're not gonna go do all that right now. So we gotta figure out what we're gonna do next. We got the Borderlands. Little stalker stuff. So let's just go here, talk to Erend. I don't know how long that's gonna take or what we're gonna have to do. So we'll do that, and then we'll see. Probably getting close to what I'm going to call the stream. So, we'll do that. And then take it from there. I really want to float.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
Nope. Ain't no one got time for that. I love this bridge, the way these archways unroll as you, like, come down the bridge.
No one goes into the palace without an invitation.
He's clearly waiting for me, but he's not going to say hello. Or be like, oh, clearly she's with me.
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Mirage.
Still don't trust him.
Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erend?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see the Sun King.
Yes, and each has come to ask a favor of him. Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you, the machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm not here to intrigue you.
Too late.
First the Oseram gets special treatment, and now
Really love the cartridge dresses.
Could the Sun King have her?
The
Outlander woman, unacceptable. I've been
I was thinking something as we came in. I don't remember what it was.
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
No. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I still don't trust Murad, but I'm only like a quarter of the way through Forbidden West, so I might not know everything about him, so I don't know. There's yet time for him to turn out to be the sly, manipulative traitor that I suspect him to be. But I don't know.
Aloy of the Nora.
We'll see.
She who sees the unseen. Welcome.
This guy.
It would seem you have done me a great service. Erend, tell her what you found.
I checked Ursa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ursa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that. Ursa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible. Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ursa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well.
I like his
Erend,
crown
Murad,
thing. Like
let
the
me discuss
white
it with her
wing pieces. Kind of look like dragonfly wings. And they come down beside his face.
I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
It sounds like Ursa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ursa has a way of making her people see reason.
How old
so
is
you see,
Avad
I need her
scene?
back at my side. And quickly.
I have everybody's like 30, 32, 45. I don't know. I'm real bad at telling age.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram. Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty. He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
So, why would Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ursa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. Then she came to me.
The latest
Together,
comic
we
series is
stopped
pretty
him
good. Covers
and
the
liberated
stuff.
the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies, I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
Very direct.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ursa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here. But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans and the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Karja nobles. It's a volatile situation, especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ursa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't
Ouch.
approve?
Sting.
Well, I have a secret for you.
You're a little rude sometimes,
Neither do
Aloy.
I. But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
I'm interested to see how much of that is explored, you know. Will that happen when people live in palaces or whatever? You know? You can see there's a little bit of that undertone going on in this game, clearly, because it just flat out stated it. But, you know, with the sequel, number 2, and then you're dealing with, like, you're dealing with stuff with this world, but you're also dealing with stuff that's, like, a whole nother side of a coin that's unique to Aloy, that's not, you know, politics of this world kind of stuff, and it's like, you know, the way that all blends together. There's so much to do in the new game. I'm gonna be like putting episodes out for forever on that, but hope to make it through there so we can. I really want to know what the deal is with that game. I gotta finish it. Anyway, not the point.
What can you tell me about the Shadow Karja? What do they have to do with Ursa?
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ursa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ursa.
Who says that?
Well, Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erend if you have further questions.
Alright. Man, let's do a little bit more reading. Right here. Is this our king list? Something like that. This is a good little bit of lore here. So we'll read this, and that'll probably be the end of our episode. Our stream. The Founding of Meridian. We are Karja. In us is the blood of those led by Ahriman from persecution and pursuit so long ago. Out of the far savage east we came, guardians of a treasure greater than land or metal. The leaves of the old ones. Ahriman found the leaves in a ruin, picked out by a beam of sunlight, and he recognized at once their importance. Within was etched the first teachings of how to observe the sun, to recognize its guidance, and to understand the place of man. From out of the leaves came the first glyphs, the first writing, so our knowledge could last longer than voices. And when our forefathers offered to share this gift, they were driven out by those they had once called tribesfolk. These ones feared to have the light of knowledge brought to bear on their ignorance, or were jealous of its power. And so began the long wandering of our people, trusting only that the sun would guide them and deliver them from the barbarian tribes. The path was hard and marked by the stones of families who fell along the wayside, even Ahriman's own. The persecution was unceasing from those without purpose, only the desire to debase and destroy. But the faith of the Karja was rewarded with a distant vision, a tower like a solid ray of the sun, holding on the horizon, flashing. Even as their enemies descended upon them, Ahriman followed the flight of the Glinthawks, leading his people through looming canyons and teeming jungles. Again they saw the tower, so close now it seemed to reach to the very sun itself, and they saw that the Glinthawks perched upon it. Beheld in the light of the sun, the tower, the spire, cast its long shadow upon a mesa across the verdant valley. Ahriman knew he had found a haven for the tribe, as this was a place shunned by those without his faith, who cowered from the magnificence of the spire, or the shining feathers of the Glinthawks. He named this place Meridian from a passage in the leaves, and the tribe settled in the protection of the great mesa. They found the site was blessed in every respect, carving their cliff houses from the bounteous resources, and in time from the red rock of the mesa itself, crowning it with the first columns of the City of the Sun. Truly the sun gave much to the descendants of our forefathers, granting Meridian great harvests and prosperity, in the bounds of the sundom for as far as its light touched. In time, seeing Meridian shielded us from the dark arrows and plots of our foes, other foreigners brought trade and tribute. Holy Meridian, without spire and sun there would be no Meridian, but now and forevermore it stands as monuments to both. And the glory of Ahriman and the founders is reflected anew in each Sun King of the Radiant Line, in the noble houses of the Sun Court. I'd like to see more houses carved into the cliff of this here. I mean, all this bit of Meridian all looks built up. I think it's built up on top of the things, but it'd be really interesting to see Pueblo-like houses carved into the cliffs or whatever. And, yeah, we're supposed to go to Pitchcliff now. Okay, there's more stuff to read, but we're gonna be done for now, so I'm not gonna bother. We'll be back again at some point so we can read more things. I like the idea of, like, the Karja coming out from the east, you know, the Nora homelands, and okay, well, there's another one we'll have to remember to read at some point. Well, I like the idea of the Karja coming from all the way over there. Clearly, they found some sort of books, gained some sort of knowledge, and can you climb up over the top of this? No. And the Nora, if they were even called the Nora at that point, didn't care for it all that much.
Nothing like
I wonder where they found the book, what was in the book. Obviously, it seems to be space stuff. So, seriously, what are these things? They don't light up like torches. What is the point? These ashtrays everywhere? I don't see anybody smoking. It's smart. Put ashtrays everywhere. If you're, you get people smoking all the time. With butts on the ground. But, yeah. I think we're gonna face this way and look out at the beautiful scenery, I guess, and we're gonna end our episode here. So, yeah. That's it for me, guys. Appreciate you hanging out here on stream or on YouTube, watching stuff. If you're on YouTube, obviously, come find us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/bratgatmedia. Is it a sub or follow or whatever it is? You'll get notified when we go live, which should be cool. I usually try to tweet it, but I'm pretty bad at actually remembering to do that. So, you'll get a little notification if you follow us directly, so you should do that. That way when I forget, as I inevitably will, it won't matter, because you'll still know. And if you're watching this on stream, you can check us out on YouTube. Just search Bratgat Media. Our profile picture is the same, and that's how you know it's us. We are nowhere near big enough to have our own URL. So yeah, just find us that way. And we'll have backups, archives, that's the word I'm looking for, of these streams in 1080p for you to watch. And we've got all sorts of stuff over there, releasing episodes of Forbidden West, and I've done playthroughs of The Witcher and Metro and stuff like that. So if you're into that, just to have something to put in the background or whatever, to hear my random thoughts of life and the games and systems and all that, hey, that's a thing you can do. Soon, that'll be changing. I'm going to change the format a little bit of what I'm doing, so that'll be exciting. But we got to finish the episodes I've already recorded that I'm releasing. We're getting close to the end of that, so it's exciting. Time for something like that soon. But anyway, not the point. That is it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, Girl Scouts.